Ask yourself why we are not being told or even given an option to listen to an alternate narrative. Come up the big hill, do my exercise on a walk. Well, g'day folks, Vic Leto, the outdoor spiritualist realist, the man who tries to find the middle ground between pixie dust and bricks and mortar, between conspiracy theory and conspiracy. Really? So all this, anyway, has been brought on by the COVID-19 situation. I just want to get something nailed here, right here and now. Yes, I believe and know that the COVID-19 virus is real, and yes, I know it is deadly when it strikes. But yes, there is no hiding the fact that there is a virus out there, and it's a pretty serious virus at that. Okay, now having said that, there's the common denominator argument about whether it's as viral as the flu, and whether it's not, and whether it's 2 times, and whether it's not. Well, let me just say, there are a lot of doctors and other experts coming out now with information to say that it isn't probably as bad spread as we thought.
My name is Dr. Jeff Barkey, and I'm here representing thousands of physicians across the country whose voices are being silenced because we don't agree with the mainstream media and the experts who are telling us what to do. As a physician, I can tell you, yes, this virus is dangerous, but as we see the statistics come in, we're realizing that the fatality rate of this virus is in the ballpark of a bad seasonal influenza.
And yes, your immediate information could say, well, that's because we have lockdown and we have done all the correct measures.
What if the experts are wrong? What if quarantining the healthy doesn't actually save lives? What if wearing a mask in public is not effective? What we're also knowing is that just like other respiratory viral illnesses in the past, we get over this virus by achieving herd immunity.
2 doctors came out in California, and their video got taken down about how our natural immune system is built to be exposed to viruses.
Now I want to talk about the immune system. Dr. Masihi used to teach for immunology. We both had years of microbiology, biochemistry, and virology studies. We've made it our life's work to understand this stuff. And here, I'd like to go over some basic things about how the immune system functions so people have a good understanding. The immune system is built by exposure to antigens, viruses, bacteria. When you're a little child crawling on the ground, putting stuff in your mouth, viruses and bacteria come in, you form an antigen-antibody complex. This is how your immune system is built. You don't take a small child, put them in bubble wrap in a room and say, go have a healthy immune system. This is immunology, microbiology 101. Our immune system is used to touching. We share bacteria, staphylococcal, streptococcal bacteria, viruses. We develop an immune response daily to this stuff. When you take that away from me, my immune system drops. As I shelter in place, my immune system drops. You keep me there for months, it drops more. And now I'm at home, hand washing vigorously, washing the counters, worried about things that are indeed what I need to survive. Let's follow the science.
What's yet to be seen at this stage is whether we will get a second phase brought on from the hiding and the lockdowns.
So quarantining and social distancing is worse for us, you're saying?
It decreases your immune system. You can't build an immune system by... If someone has a reduced immune system, you hide them away because they can't build an immune system. If you have a normal functioning immune system, you need interaction. When a child's in a womb, you're in this protected environment. When you come out, you have almost no immune system. You develop that through touching your mouth, touching your eyes, virus, bacteria, immune response. This is how you build a strong immune system.
You think people are worrying too much?
Of course they are, but that's from media telling them to. I am telling them sheltering in place decreases your immune system. And then as we all come out of shelter in place with a lower immune system and start trading viruses and bacteria, what do you think is going to happen? Disease is going to spike. And then you've got disease spike amongst a hospital system with furloughed doctors and nurses. This is not the combination we want to set up for a healthy society.
What is wrong with the debate? Is science a closed shop? One opinion, that's it. just the one the government's taking, that's the only one you're allowed to hear. I'm sorry, that's just wrong. There's plenty of experts who have a alternate view to the current view. I'm just giving a alternate view because we are force-fed continual narrative of the lockdown. There is a lot of stuff we are not being allowed to listen to, at least. Now, why can we not, as grown adults in a democracy, in a debate sense, be able to hear alternate views? Many other doctors have also come out about the stats of COVID-19.
You're a doctor. Why in the world would they be sending you out information to fill out death certificates, whether the person's been diagnosed with COVID-19 or not, but then to say in the death certificate this person's death was caused by COVID-19? That does not sound right to me.
As a physician, I received an email last week from the Department of Health, Vital Statistics Agency, coaching me on how to fill out death certificate. It sort of told me that if I had an 86-year-old patient that had pneumonia but was never tested for COVID-19, but sometime after she came down with pneumonia, we learned that she had been exposed to her son who had no symptoms, but later on was identified with COVID-19, that it would be appropriate to diagnose on the death certificate COVID-19. Now, we've not done that. If someone has the pneumonia after and it's in the middle of a flu epidemic, and I don't have a test on influenza, I don't diagnose influenza on the death certificate. I will say this elderly patient died of pneumonia. Well, we've always been told that you always put down just facts. You don't put down any probabilities. You don't put any presumptions down. It's just what you know.
And here's another interesting one. I think this one's coming out of New York. There is actually extra cash for the hospital. They are getting more money by reporting COVID-19. So the figures for COVID-19 are being stacked.
I've been, if you will, accused of trying to drum up some sort of conspiracy theory because I've divulged some information that people weren't aware of. That's not who I am. So let's just step back a little bit. Let's just talk about some facts. Now, I can demonstrate those facts to you, and I've been fact-checked, and I've sent it out to different news sources. I didn't make these things up. You can get these from Medicare. First, I want to talk about allocation. Here's another allocation. Hospital administrators. Hospital administrators might well want to see COVID-19 attached to a discharge summary or a death certificate. Why? Because if it's a straightforward garden variety pneumonia that a person is admitted to the hospital with, if they're on Medicare, typically the diagnosis related group lump sum payment will be about $5,000. But if it's COVID-19 pneumonia, then it's $13,000. And if that COVID-19 pneumonia patient ends up on a ventilator, it goes to $39,000. The bottom line, that's another allocation. Now, physicians have gotten their undies in a bundle, and they said, "You calling me a liar?" No, I'm not calling you a liar. But it's just like, if a hospital administrative type of person comes up to me when I've done a discharge summary, if we can increase the index of severity of a patient, we get paid more. But listen, physicians, the Hippocratic Oath talks about us keeping our art pure.
Whale season coming on soon too. Will we be allowed to stand on a headland and look at whales, or will they be infected by our watching them? Now, if, for example, maybe the lockdown and the isolation is wrong. Why? Because we're under a brainwash narrative.
The mission statements of the largest local broadcasting corporation in the US, and it's requiring its anchors to read out a scripted message to back that up.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets they are true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
Everything reflects back to a spread of a killer virus that is going to kill millions of us. Well, yes, the lockdown is going to kill millions of us. Far more than anything COVID is going to throw at us. Out of the millions that die of starvation on the planet, the indirect effects now of coronavirus, we're already looking at something like perhaps 130 million. And everyone talks about, oh, well, they're just the third world people popping off. Oh, sorry, third world people, you don't count. When the statistics come in and will prove that the infectious rate is very common compared to every other things like the flu, we will be sitting here wondering, why did we let the world go into a depression, physically, economically, socially, mentally? Why did we allow a virus to put us in depression? The broader picture on the damage it's doing to the world, you would ask, why would they be doing this to us? Whether it's a conspiracy or not, you cannot deny that the powers that be have used the opportunity to bring in control measures and perhaps over-government, perhaps, just a little bit. Now, if you don't think that the current isolation and social distancing laws is not used as an organisational sense of control, well then, what do you call it? What would you call it? Okay, you could call it being cautious and trying to protect the community health and safety from a virus that's rampant. Is it rampant though? For example, we have an app now which is going to help us track who's you've come in contact with the virus, and at this stage it is voluntary. But hey, let's say we are under the same panic-ridden society in a year's time. Will they start making it compulsory? Will we be having to have compulsory vaccinations? We wonder whether this is just a little training exercise for us, whether it's conspiracy or not. They're taking control. Yes, perhaps it's time to start exploring more alternate news services. Watch your mainstream news, get your fix, an hour a day or whatever it is in newspaper, but go online and get onto some other stuff, right? The thing is with this alternate news, it takes some time. It's not about just sweeping through it. You need to spend time and not just dismiss something. You need to look at it. You need to watch it. You need to check alternate views on that side of it. We have never had the technology we have now accessible to us. I can tell you now, I've been doing it for a few years, and for the last couple of months I have been down the rabbit hole. But I'm not going to bring you up all the dirt that I've found. Have a think about it.